Hello dear kids, welcome back to the social science class, and today we are going to discuss a new chapter from history, that is new empires and kingdoms. And in this chapter we are going to learn about the Gupta rulers, then how Gupta rulers administrated their kingdom, and about the kingdoms of Harsha, then the Pallavas and the Chalukyas. Here is the mind map. Gupta rulers, various Gupta rulers like Chandragupta I, Chandragupta II, and then here Harsha, Pallavas and Chalukyas. So let us see about the first, that is Gupta Empire. And after the fall of the Kushanas, remember the name, after the fall of Kushanas in north and the Shatavahanas in south. Kushanas in north and Shatavahanas in South India, we can see the emergence of Gupta Empire, which established its hold over a good parts of both north and South India. And do you know who all are the Gupta rulers? Yes, I just mentioned here, they are mainly Chandragupta I, then Samudragupta and Chandragupta II. So let us learn more about them. The first, Chandragupta first. Chandragupta first was the first important ruler of the Gupta dynasty. Okay, and he adopted the title of Maharajadi Raja. Remember, Chandragupta I adopted the title of Maharajadi Raja or King of Kings. Clear? So who is the King of Kings? Okay, according to the history, it is Chandragupta I. And who is Samudragupta? Chandragupta was succeeded by his son, that is Samudragupta. Clear? Then he followed, Samudragupta followed an aggressive policy of conquest which greatly expanded the might and prestige of Gupta Empire. An inscription engraved on the Ashokan pillar at Allahabad, dating 4th century CE almost, known as Prayaga Prashasti. Okay, so the Ashokan pillar at Allahabad is known as Prayaga Prashasti, and it gives us information about Samudragupta's accession and conquest. So what is Prayaga Prashasti? The Prayaga Prashasti is a 33-line eulogy. Okay, it's a 33-line eulogy composed by Harisena. So Prayaga Prashasti was composed by Harisena. He is a court poet of Samudragupta. So he is the court poet of Samudragupta. And this Prashasti is a type of inscription. Okay, and it's a Sanskrit word which means in price of. So what is the meaning of Prashasti? Yeah, it means in price of. So Samudragupta also appears as a lover of poetry and music. Many of his coins show him playing the veena. So he has been described as Kavi Raja. So who is described as Kavi Raja? Yes, Samudragupta. Let us see more about Prayaga Prashasti. The Prayaga Prashasti describes the campaigns. Campaigns means what? Campaigns means military operations. Okay. So the Prayaga Prashasti describes the campaigns of Samudragupta in different parts of India. Let us see major important ones. Samudragupta defeated 9 rulers of Aryavarta. The first one. Samudragupta defeated 9 rulers of Aryavarta, and the second is the 12 rulers of Dakshinapada. Dakshinapada means South India. The another name of South India is Dakshinapatha. So the 12 rulers of Dakshinapatha or South India were defeated by Samudragupta. All these things are from Prayaga Prashasti. Okay, it's an inscription. And the third one is the foreign rulers of northwestern India submitted to him and offered daughters in marriage. Okay. Fourth one, Samudragupta reduced all states in the forest regions of central and Deccan India to the position of servants. So this is the fourth point. So you have to learn it very well. So these are the 4 points about Prayaga Prashasti. Okay. And here you can see the map. Extent of the Gupta Empire under Samudragupta. In this map you can watch. So this orange color, this area is mentioned or described as Gupta Empire. And you can see the arrow marks from here to here. So this is the route of Samudragupta's expansion. Okay. And here also you can see few things. These are the pillar edicts. Okay. So here from Nalanda he is coming. So these are the expansion area, Nalanda, and it is coming all over here Pallavas. And going back through Ajanta, Ellora caves and all, and this coming back to Sanji till Ayodhya. So this is the extension of Gupta Empire under Samudragupta. Is it clear? Good. You have to learn it because it will come for the examination. Please learn it well. Okay. So after Samudragupta, we are moving to the third king. That is Chandragupta II. Who is Chandragupta II? The Gupta inscriptions mention Chandragupta II was Samudragupta's successor. Okay. So the Gupta inscriptions mention Chandragupta II was Samudragupta's successor. And he took the title of Vikramaditya. You might have learned or you might have heard about this. Right, he took the title of Vikramaditya and extended the limits of the empire by marriage, alliances and conquest. Kalidasa, the Sanskrit poet, was a member of his court. So these are all about the Gupta rulers, Chandragupta I, Samudragupta, Chandragupta II. And what happened after Guptas? Remember kids, the later Gupta rulers were weak. So the Gupta Empire disintegrated. Chandragupta II was succeeded by Kumaragupta, who in turn was succeeded by Skandagupta. Okay. And Skandagupta was successful in controlling the attacks of Hanas, a barbaric nomadic tribe of Central Asia. Who is Hanas? It's a barbaric nomadic tribe of Central Asia. Okay. However, the later Gupta rulers were weak, so gradually the provinces under the Guptas became independent and some went under the control of Hanas. Okay. And let us see the administration under Guptas. So we have learned all about the rulers. Now let us see the administration. First, we'll talk about or we'll learn about central administration. So, what are the things coming under central administration? The Gupta rulers adopted an elaborate system of administration. Okay, and it was in operation in areas which were directly controlled by them. Okay, and they adopted high sounding titles such as Maharaja di Raja, okay, then Chakravarti and Parameshwara. All these things they adopted. It looks so high sounding, right? So Maharaja di Raja, Chakravarti and Parameshwara. The king remained the central figure of administration. King is the best. And he was assisted by a council of ministers. And he issued written instructions to officials on all important matters. Okay. And he was assisted by the Mahananda Nayaka. Okay, the king is assisted by Mahananda Nayaka, the chief justice in judicial matters. Okay, and the Guptas at their peak must have had a big army organization. Okay, and the army itself consisted of elephants, cavalry, infantry, and chariots. At the time of war, the king led his army, but ordinarily there was a minister called Sandhi Vigrahiga. Sandhi Vigrahiga. So there was a minister called Sandhi Vigrahiga, and he was in charge of peace and war and was helped by the group of high officials. So please remember all these terms and come to the next, that is provincial administration. The empire was divided into bhuktis. Remember, the empire was divided into bhuktis or provinces. In the provinces, this work was entrusted to the uparikas, and in districts to the Vishyapatis. Okay, and in villages, the headman and the village elders used to decide the petty cases. Like in our family, elder members are taking decisions. The same way in villages, the headman and the village elders used to decide the petty cases. Alright, then come to the taxation. Land revenue was the main source of the state's income besides the fines. Okay, the village remained the basic unit of the administration. So remember, village is the basic unit of administration. And another point, that is decentralization. What do you mean by decentralization? Transfer of control to several local officers rather than having one single power. Okay, giving powers to another people. So there were also several similar military leaders who provided troops to the kings when required. Okay, in return they were given grants of land from which they could collect revenue and maintain their armies. Okay, these men were called samantas. Samantas, remember? Or feudatories. Samantas or feudatories of the king. These feudatories always took advantage and tried to seize control whenever the king was weak. Okay, this is what all about decentralization. And now we are moving to the next king, that is Harshavardhana. Okay, let us see the informations from where we are getting informations about Harshavardhana. Unlike the Gupta rulers, about whom we got information from the inscriptions and coinage, we came to know about Harsha, another significant 7th century king, from his biography and other literary accounts. Banabhatta was his court poet who wrote his biography called Harsha III. So Harsha III is written by Banabhatta. Okay. We also have accounts of Chinese traveler Huan San, who visited Harsha's kingdom and left detailed descriptions of what he saw and observed. So we will get the information about Harshavardhana from Banabhatta's biography, that is Harsha Charita, and also the accounts of Huan San, who visited Harsha's kingdom and left detailed descriptions of what he saw and observed. And let us see the military campaigns of Harshavardhana. Harsha ascended the throne of Taneshwar around 606 CE. CE means Common Era. Yeah. After the death of his father and elder brother, he immediately marched against the Gaudas who had killed his brother-in-law, the ruler of Kanauj. Do you know Harsha was a patron of art and learning? Like Chandragupta, he loves music very much. The same way, Harshavardhana was a patron of art and learning. Learning and education was given royal patronage during his period. Harsha himself was a great author. He wrote 3 plays in Sanskrit. First one is Ragnavali, second is Priyadarshika, and the third Nagananda. Remember the 3 plays written by Harshavardhana. The first one is Ragnavali, second is Priyadarshika, and the third Nagananda. Remember. And he had many great scholars such as Banabhatta, then Subandhu and Dandin in his court. And he gave a special grant to the Nalanda University that had more than 10,000 students. And he had donated 100 villages to this university. Okay, so he had donated 100 villages to this university. Initially, he was the worshipper of Lord Shiva, but later converted to Buddhism. Huan Sang, a Chinese pilgrim, also studied in Nalanda University, and he visited during Harsha's reign and had left a vivid account, a big account. Okay, and we are moving to the second last, that is Pallavas. During the same period, the Pallavas and the Chalukyas had established powerful empires in South India. Okay, the Pallavas are mentioned Samudragupta's pillar, where he is said to have defeated a Pallava king, Vishnugopal. Yes, it was mentioned in Samudragupta's pillar. And the Pallavas were powerful between 330 and 550 CE. Their main area of dominance was Kanchipuram, their capital up to the Kaveri Delta. And the Pallavas' history between 600 and 900 CE is full of accounts of wars between the Pallava and Chalukya rulers. Okay, and we are moving to the last, that is Chalukyas. The Chalukyas were largely influential in the area around Raichur Doab, between Krishna and Tungabhadra rivers in Andhra Pradesh. Their capital was Aihole. Aihole is in Karnataka, which was also an important trading center. Then Pulkesan II, the grandson of Pulkesan I, was a contemporary of Harshavardhana and the most famous of Chalukyan kings. Okay, and he expanded his kingdom by annexing the entire Andhra kingdom. And his reign is remembered as the greatest period in the history of Karnataka. He defeated Harshavardhana on the banks of river Narmada. Okay, and Ravikruti was the court poet of Pulkesan II, who composed the Aihole inscription. And this inscription gives a vivid account of the Chalukyan rule. So dear kids, here I am giving you a project which is mentioned in the textbook. Prepare a biographical sketch of any one of the ruler. You can see here Chandragupta I, Samudragupta, Chandragupta II, Harshavardhana, many are there. So you can prepare a biographical sketch of any one of the ruler mentioned in this chapter. Okay, take care, bye bye.